A level, no? Maybe sometimes tired. Hmm? Sometimes maybe tired. Soon after OLs, 9 days only, and start in the A levels. Hmm? What to do, no? What to do? Uh, if we don't start like this, the classes, remember, your students, uh, now your examination will be 2027 August. Okay, 2027, definitely August. So usually, when your oil examinations was held in December, those days, of course, we started the classes January, the next year, January. So then January onwards, the same year, August, nearly 7 months, no? After another 24 months, you had the examination. Then we had 31 months to do L, what course? 31 months. While we were having that 31 months, still we had to put some extra classes to cover up what? The lessons properly. Understand? Right? 31 months also not enough to just to cover syllabus enough. Just to cover syllabus means just doing the listen and doing 2, 3 questions and skipping like that. When you go around the syllabus, that's enough. But according to our program, what is our program? We usually starting a lesson, first we do the theories. Thereafter, we do nearly 10 or 15 years past paper sums. And in addition to that, some extra questions we do. And in addition to that, we do paper classes. Okay. So to do this workload, 31 months, not sufficient. Now, compared to that situation, now if you furthermore delay to start your AL classes, so how many months you have now? Now almost April finish, no? Now the new year coming. Soon after new year, you won't come to the classes. Why? Now you have at the moment what very delightful mind, no? Soon after your oils, right? Our Muslim students, they celebrated recently what Ramadan. Singular students and Tamil students will be separating what the new year. Okay. And going here and there. Okay. So then most of the time this month of April, we can skip. So then May, June, July. May, June, July, then another 24 months. 27 months we have. No? So 31 number of months also not enough. Then how can we do within 27 months? So that's why people, we started the class very early. Okay. So therefore, since you do AL science, especially math science, people during this uh, future years, future number of months, you must work harder than you put the effort for your oils. Okay. It doesn't say that this is harder course. It doesn't say this is harder course. Lots of work available to do. Okay. Lots of work available to do. And other thing is you are doing maths, no? Maths means really what? Maths is very easy, listen, no? Easy subject, no? Yes or no? That's why you have chosen maths, no? Neither. Maths lazy. Hmm? Maths is very easy. Very close friend. If it goes wrong, the very bad enemy. නේද? එහෙම වරද්දාගත්තොත් ඌ ගේමට එනවා. නේ? So therefore, people, we must learn this. Having a certain program only, we have to learn this. Otherwise, you can't go toward the highest possible results in your AL. Okay. So now, I think most of you have joined this class. Come, join this class. Sometimes you got the message regarding me, right? Raise your hands. Your sister or brother learned under me in the previous years. Out of you, how many came here by getting the information from your brother or sister or cousin brother or cousin sister or whoever? Raise your hands. No one yet. Ah, yes, one is there. Yes. Others, sometimes you got the message here. We delivered, no, through posters, letters, and handbills and uh, other social media, but advertising. Anyway, people, this is my 27th AL batch. Okay, this is my 27th AL batch. And you are going to sit the 27, no? Then this is 27th my AL batch. So therefore, we are the pioneer of the English medium classes in Kansas City. I started my first class for the English medium. You know, in the year 2000 only, combined maths syllabus was introduced to the AL. Year 2000, year 2000. Huh? Before year 2000, you know, we had what advanced level, not combined maths. We had pure maths and applied maths. Okay. Sometimes if your parents have done AL, they have done pure maths and applied maths. Those days, of course, AL maths means pure and applied. I'll explain that syllabus and this syllabus separate later. Now, 2000, year 2000 only the very first combined maths examination, year 2000. For the year 2000, of course, I started the classes when I was in my third day in the university. Okay, 2000, year 2000. I can even today remember for the batch year 2000, that means 2000, we started class 1998 for the year 2000. There's only one girl in the class. That girl also a Muslim girl. Okay, I'm speaking about 1998. I was doing the classes then opposite to the Good Shepherd Convent, a small institute, right? Only one student. I was in the second year or third year, yes, second year end, yes. Okay, so only one girl was in the class, right? So then we had a small uh, classroom sufficient for only 5 or 6 students. Okay, so I did that class over 6 months only for one girl. Then another one boy, after another 2 boys, and so on. Finally, in that batch, when I stopped the class for year 2000, just before the examination, there were around 7 students in the class. Okay. That very first student, that girl, same girl now, she is now working for a university in UK, right? Recently, usually she phoned me. That is my first batch, right? That's my first batch. That's how we started the classes. So those days, of course, hardly any students doing AL English medium. Gradually, this situation improved. Year 2001, 2, 3, like that, up to year 2010, really a small gradual increment of students we could see. Then finally, in the year 2010, we were collected in the city nearly 30 students for mathematics and biology. There were nearly 50. Altogether, in the city, there were almost 100 students for the English medium. I'm talking this in the year 2010. Okay, right? Now, really, when we consider the situation, then there's most of the schools also, they started from grade 6, the English medium studies. I think most of you started your English medium studies in grade 6 onwards. Yes, grade 6 onwards. So therefore, thereafter, there's a certain considerable number of students gathered to AL English medium. So in the year 2010, 11, 12, it came to the peak. So thereafter, most of our students began to enter the university, right? So now Sinhala medium students, Tamil medium students, meantime, English medium students the three languages, all students gathered in the same lecture theatre in the university. Science faculty, engineering faculty, medical faculty, dental, right? So on. So now the three types of students, they did in Sinhala medium, Tamil medium, English medium, they gathered into the same lecture theatre in the university. Okay. Now there only the thing began to occur. But you know, in the university, so the overall lecture is delivered in English. Okay. But the English medium students, of course, they are so familiar with the language because they had done nearly in their grade 6 up to 11, 5 years and another 2 years, 7 years, they have been studying what? Everything in English medium. They are okay with English medium. Now, in the same lecture theatre, the three types of students, they did their ALs in English medium, Tamil medium, and Sinhala medium. So now they are listening to what the lecturer. They are some of our friends. Now they are still working as doctors, and now some they are professors in the university. So once we chat with them, they usually say, in the first now semesters available after 4 months, there's an examination or 5 months. Most of the time, the English medium students scores more, right? English medium students scores more. Reason what? Especially the language skill. Okay. So now even today I can remember I did in Sinhala medium my IL. Okay. So those days no English medium. We did not find any issue in ALO in the university because in the university there are only two types. The people, the student, they did in Sinhala medium and the Tamil medium only. So when we were in the same lecture theatre, there of course the lecture he delivered one session we had to do in English medium. The same lecture we could get in Sinhala medium as well. Those days, of course, we had a certain solution for this issue. So therefore, we couldn't find any issue. Even though after the semester, first semester means after first 6 months, we didn't have what English Sinhala medium, the lecturer. We had only the English medium. There we found a little inconvenience, but we could manage well because by then, of course, we are so familiar with what the technical terms and everything okay. Now the present issue is you have the best advantage in the university. Why? Especially because of your language. Okay. Right? So the language plays a huge role. So now, no lectures in other mediums, only in English medium. So therefore, once you enter the university, from that day onwards, you have to learn and you won't find any issues because of the language. As a result of that, most of the time, the batch top, right, coming through what? The English medium students. It doesn't say the other people, they can't come to that level. They can, but without any effort, most of the time, the English medium students come into the higher levels very short period of time in the university. So that is a huge advantage you have in your life because of the selection of the English medium studies. So therefore, this I am telling here, I came to know last few years, most of our students, they are doing in English medium up to OL, they suddenly change their language to what? Sinhala medium in ALs. Understand? Or Tamil medium in ALs. Don't do that fool. Okay. No meaning of doing like that, people. Because there are sufficient, capable, talented teachers now available everywhere for English medium. Okay. So now In the year 2000, we were the only team doing ALS English medium for science stream. Me, Sampath sir, and those days some people available, Vajit sir, so on. Now you can see there are many teachers. So first thing is, don't go to change your language, people. Okay. This achievement doing in English medium, your ALS means a huge achievement in your life, right? Remember, furthermore, suppose it is not always necessary to enter the university, no? Really, my personal opinion is, it is not compulsory to enter the university, especially the science students. Not compulsory. Not compulsory. There are more avenues to go ahead. Okay. There are many courses, right? Many universities. For everything, people, the basic need is your language skill. Language skill. Okay. So therefore, this language is a very huge weapon in your life. So therefore, due to any reason, don't go to change what the language. The step is you have to go forward with the same language as long as you do your else. You will get in the life one day a huge what benefit for this. Okay, that first thing is that. Right. And the other thing is, dear students, now, especially when we do mathematics, right? Most of you don't believe that maths is difficult. But some people they are afraid of maths. I don't think here such people available. If you afraid of maths, so you never join this class. You never think to do AL maths, no? Right? Who afraid of maths? How the buy maths would? Hmm? How the buy maths would? Nee, na, may buy maths. Why we don't know? Hmm? Why should we scare of maths? Right? No. Thing is this, people. This subject is little bit complicated. Little bit complicated. Complicated doesn't say it is difficult. Okay. Now it is not a subject like learning economics, accounting, biology, so on. Why? When you learn economics, so I know a little bit about economics because I did for my degree. First year I did pure applied and physics. Second year I dropped physics and I did, instead of that physics subject, I did electronics, management and economics. Okay. In my degree, finally I did 5 subjects. Hmm? Pure maths, applied maths, economics, electronics, right? And management. Economics, and management, yes. Okay, so there we learned the economics up to the level of the degree in our second year and third year. So therefore, I have a certain idea about the economics. Right? I'll take one example here. Now think like this. In the market, suppose nowadays, April season, no, more vegetables come into the market. Okay. There we have beans, carrot, and many different types of vegetables come into the market. Now, when we go to market to buy something, you can see everywhere. Nona and menna ganda, aduota badu. Everywhere you can see what vegetables. කොච්චර ගාන අඩු කියලා දෙකක්ම ගෙනියන්නේ. So what do you feel when there are lots of goods in the market? What do you feel? What do you feel? The merchant tries to sell what? Lot. In order to sell this lot, he has to minimize the price. You can just think, no? Then that is the first theory in the economics. What? When the supply is going up, what happens? Price is going down. When the supply is going up, price is going down. Very simple theory. Very simple theory. So then, in understanding this theory, people, no need to pay more effort. Just when you go to the market, huh, sometimes you might have this experience. ගාන නම් 150යි මහත්තයා. දෙකක් ගන්න ඕන මම 100 ගාන දෙන්නම්. They motivate usually, no? They motivate. People, now you can very clearly understand, by seeing at the situation, you can understand what is really happening there. That is economics. By just looking at the happenings, you can determine what is the theory behind this. Okay. The other thing is, when the supply is very low, price is going up. Give me one example. Give me one example. I think 1.5 years or 2 years back, there was a certain fuel issue in the country. Fuel issue in the country. Fuel issue, long queue you can see. You could see those days. What was there? A less supply, but more demand. When the supply is going down, demand is increasing. Once the demand is increasing, seller can increase the prices. So that is another theory in economics. So you can very clearly analyze and understand these situations. But think like this, that is the economics. We'll take another example in biology. You need to study the mechanism in human heart. Now there are many ways of learning this. When you go to internet, cross-section of human heart, everything you get. Then through your live eye, you can see and get an idea. No need to what? Use this brain. Now think of a situation like this. In one place, Einstein says, I think sometimes you may have learned this or heard this. In one place, you know, the great scientist Einstein, he says in one place, in his relativity theory, there are two twin brothers in the earth. Twin brothers, same age. One brother is in the earth, other one is moving in a spacecraft with the velocity more than the light. What is the velocity of light? 3 point something into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Okay. One twin brother is now moving in a spacecraft, right, with a velocity more than light. Other one is in the earth. Now, just imagine situation and compare this situation with the economics, that early example I gave you. Right now, this brother moving on the spacecraft, right, going around the world or in other galaxy or wherever, after some number of years, he comes back to the earth. Now, the other brother also in the earth. Now, Einstein says, the one who moved with the aircraft, once he comes back to the earth, that one is younger than the other one. Who is the other one? Who were in the earth? He is now older. Other one is younger. You are looking at me, no? Ani sir boru kiyanne epa kinawa neda palawena dawasema. Ha? Kinawada ehema? Kiyanne hitanawa ne? Ani sir boru kiyanne epa kiyala. No, people. This time you are helpless. You can't imagine this and you can't see this through your eye. Then you put this to your brain. Then you analyze whether it is possible. No idea coming. නේද? බ්‍රේන් එක දාලා බලන පොඩ්ඩක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්ද බා මොකෝ බා නේද? ගෙදරකින් පොඩ්ඩක් කල්පනා කරන්න. සමහර ළමයි කියනවා බොරු කියන්නේ තිබ්බම ෆස්ට් ඩේ කියලා. No, people. This he has proved. Now you can't get any idea, no? Now you can't get any idea, no? That is because of people. Our brain power is not enough to understand this. Our brain power is not enough to understand this. Understand? So that says people. In understanding maths science, there should be a certain level of brain power. The guys, they have that only. They can literally, without any trouble, any inconveniences, they can follow the science. Understand? So I think most of you have that brain power. That is why, having a huge confidence, you have already chosen to do what? Maths. Okay? So therefore, remember, to do science stream, really, a certain minimum level of the brain power you need. Understand? Now see, understanding the potato market and the Einstein theory now, two different things, no? Two different things. People, that is the difference between science and other streams. Okay. So therefore, usually science students, science scientists, they usually work with the brain. That means they must have created a certain world in their brain that will helpful them to think, and accordingly they what? Come to conclusions. Maths is the first subject like that in the world existing. Okay. Right? So therefore, when somebody does maths, dear students, right, to understand in some situations, no examples in our day-to-day life we can take. Like understanding when the supply is going up, price down, price is going down. That's very simple thing now you can understand when you go to the market. Like that, very simply, you can't understand some what theories, right, in mathematics like that. So you can't see them in our day-to-day life. You can't take any example to understand them in our day-to-day life. That occasion, you are helpless. That occasion, the one who had that I told you that the basic requirement in the brain power we must have, no? That guy think this. How? Now he brings in his brain that particular situation. Then he imagine in his brain that particular situation. Now he has in his brain that particular environment, right? Now having them all in his mind, right? In his mind, now he has enough what? Environment, hmm, to think regarding the matter. Understand? Now, when I was telling that story, one brother is in the earth, other one is moving in a spacecraft. That occasion, you could imagine one brother is waiting like this in the earth, other one is now moving very fast, faster with the spacecraft. No, you got that imagination, no, in your mind. That's the people, the brain power. Now you try to understand this. How? By imagining that. Now, once you think like that, a certain convenient feeling coming. A certain environment is now feeling in your mind. Now you use that same environment created in your mind to think little by little. Now, next occasion, you come another small layer up. Ah, now he is moving very fast. We can't even see his past, right? So during this, something can happen. Like that, one by one, you logically think and take one by one to your mind. Understand? You gather something. But these things you can't see in our daily life regarding that situation. People, that ability of thinking is the basic brain power of doing real science. Okay. The people they think like this, they can very easily do science stream. Understand? The people they can't think this way, people. They say, what? I can't understand this, no. I can't understand what you say. Hmm? How can this happen? no solution, people. No solution. Understand? So therefore, the people who supposed to do AL science, they must have this minimum brain power to think in their learnings or studies. So therefore, sometimes at once you can't come to that level, right? Now, when you jump from OL to AL, there's a little gap between them. Sometimes you might have thought, OL maths is the maths. We did OL in 2-3 months. No. Really, even in AL people, you learn under maths something as a whole. According to my point of view, you learn in AL under maths what? There is a subject called as maths. That's what you finally know. There's a subject called as maths in the world. So we learn nearly 0.0000 something of mathematics. It's a very vast subject. Understand? So for that also, really we must have a certain capability, our motivation, hard working, right? Very essential people in doing AL science stream. It doesn't say this is difficult, right? This is difficult. At once, sometimes you can't understand something. Understand, people. So therefore, don't give up. Think. How does this happen? Take more time and think. Then only, people, that require brain power gradually creating in your mind. Otherwise, once you think it's in the most simplest way that I can do everything like that, people, it is not any longer true, right? So therefore, I am preparing for the ailments, your mindset, always, right? Be ready to accept something. But though you try to accept that thing, you can't understand that thing. When you try to understand this, you don't have enough witnesses and some to prove some important facts you don't have. Then you search here and there to verify the situation, but no data coming to you to verify them. That occasion you are helpless. Sometimes our people, they give up then. Then only they say what? This subject I can't do, this difficult. No, don't give up. Don't give up, people. Don't give up. There are solutions. There are solutions. Okay? Right? So therefore, your brave nature is very important. You have heard about who is the bulb inventor, the scientist? Alva Edison. Huh? You know his story. He's very not a talented one. Very weak student in the school. One day, his teacher gave him a small piece of paper writing something on it. This guy can't read that to understand this. Then this piece of paper, the teacher asked to give to his mother. Now, as the teacher said, the small child went home and gave it to mother. Mother read this. While she was reading this, now tears now coming, right? Now she really found certain sort of worry situation, but she managed not to show this to a child. Then suddenly the small child asked, why are you crying? No, nothing. So what is available there? Tell me. No. Your teacher says you are so talented. So other students can't work with you because you are so talented. So therefore, the teacher asked you to stay at home and learn under me. Then you can go more fast than them You can't study with them because you are so talented, others are very weak than you. Situation is the other way around. Finally, he studied at home. Finally, one day he came to what? That, right? He discovered that thing and came to a genius, great scientist in the world. One day, the mother passed away. When he, of course, go to his mother's room and go into the cupboard, so he could see a very small piece of paper hiding at a corner of the cupboard. He took it away and read. That's the piece of paper gave the teacher to mother. Now he started to read this, but it's available. Don't send this child to school. He's so weak. With other students in the class, I can't work with this. Please don't send him, stay at home. That was the thing available on the piece of paper. Understand? So then suddenly he cried. What has happened there? The mother was very intelligent. If the mother said the actual situation, his journey could have deviated highly. People then that says some hidden capabilities available in people. It takes some time to see this. Until the time comes, we have to wait very patiently. Understand? Right? So therefore, at the very beginning, don't go to decide anything yourself. Take more time. The time factor is another factor which solves more what issues in the world. Right? So therefore, when you do this AL science streams, you will find different kinds of what issues, questions, problems, fed up, right? Fed up every occasion, right? Don't give up, people. Don't give up. Those who can manage these situations well, they will win the game, right? So that lecture I must deliver in the very first day, because most of the people, they say the maths difficult. No, people, maths is maths. Forever it is same. Maths is maths, right? So then you have to adapt yourself for that particular thing. The maths never adapt to you. So therefore, hard working essential. Really, I am conducting this class to give you the maximum results, A pass, right? I am planning like that. I am not going to give you what some entertainment facts in the class, right? My questions a little bit harder. Hard in the sense, of course, once you can manage them really, you will find your examination questions too easier than my questions in the tutorial. From the very beginning, of course, I try to form your thinking skill, your mathematics brain and everything. Because I think I can teach maths well for ALs, right? So therefore, I'm supposed to give you the maximum possible result. As a teacher, my satisfaction is this. My satisfaction is, finally, if somebody gives a good day pass, that day, of course, I am very, happy. I'm very happy. Meantime, if somebody fails the examination that day, I am very, very worried. That is my rhythm. So therefore, when you work with me, really, sometimes maybe boring in the sense, but I always working questions, right? So last year, 2025 examination, I'll just repeat that one. At the very beginning, I think full of students in the class. In the middle, some of the students, they needed what? Some jokes from me. Some jokes, people. Saying, jokes? What jokes? මොනවද විහිළු ළමයි නේද? hina වෙන්න මොනවද කියන්න ඕනද? අපට ළමයි hina වෙන්න නෙවෙයි අපිට වැඩ කරනත් කාලේ මදි වෙලා ඉන්නේ. ඉතින් ආයි ජෝක් දතා ඉන්න ලවන්නේ නැහැ ළමයි. මොනවද දාලා තියෙන ජෝක්? So then I continued my own way. I take one question, explain, take the answer, and I go to the other one. Some people in the class, of course, they are not fit with this. They ask several times, sir, we are very lazy with you. මම ඉතින් කියමු උඹලට කම්මැලි නම් ඉතින් කම්මැලි තියෙන ඉඳගෙන වරෙල්ලා කියලා. මෙතින්ද ඉතින් ජෝක් ගහන්න එන්න ඕනේ නැහැ නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ නේද? So some of the students stopped the class. They found some other classes. I am okay with that because then now I am doing the class very well. So 2025, we have another 6 months to the examination. I have another 4 months to cover up the syllabus. I have 4 months, 4 lessons. We have 6 months near, 5 months or 6 months. 4 lessons cover up the syllabus. And every Wednesday, we are having here paper writing. Paper writing is usually Wednesday 2 to 5. Now, paper number 16, of course, we wrote the day before yesterday, Wednesday. Right? Morning session, I'm discussing that. So I suppose this time do 40 papers just before the examination. So once somebody go through that all 40 papers, I'm sure that most of the AL examination questions you will have done before your AL examination because according to the way I select the questions to put this test papers, I take the papers people in the all island, in all provincials, the most important, right, questions I select and put to the paper in our test paper. So if somebody can manage them mean really people, they before going to their AL examination, they are competing with what? All island other students. Why? I took the questions from the previous provincial papers. The student in the country, they set. If our student can manage them mean really, they have come to what? Other level automatically, no? Once you do like this, what happens, people? Nobody can prevent your A pass. Understand? So that is how we plan. Right? Finally, not all the students, most of the students will get A passes. Majority B, some C. S, F also available. But our F percentage is very low. Right? Very low. People think if all the students will pass the examination, all will be engineers. Is it possible to happen in the nature? No. No. 5% of the AL only will eligible to attend the university. The rest 95 outside. In our classes, most of the students are in that 5% range. Minimizing fail rate, most of the students, they at least get S pass, majority CB, and most students every year, they get A passes. So therefore, people getting S pass even in maths, of course, really very worth to your life. Getting S pass also in maths, very worth to your life. Having 3 S passes for mathematics, doing in English medium, apply for jobs, I think. Have you ever seen that any one who did for a science stream, keeping like this a post, දියව් අපට දියව් රස්සා දියව් කියලා කොහේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැකලා තියෙනවද දෙල්ලගෙන ඉන්නවා ටවුන් වල එහෙම? Huh? Picketing, they are picketing now, asking, demanding what? Jobs. Have you ever seen? No people. කවදාවත් සයන්ස් කරපු කට්ටියකට ළමයි ඒ වගේ පිකටිං කරන්න ඕනේ ජොබ්ස් ගන්න. ඇයි? ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඕන තරම් ඇවෙනියුස් තියෙනවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඕන තරම් ඇවෙනියුස් තියෙනවා ළමයි. නා? ඒරල් මැත්ස් කරලා S එකක් ගත්තොත් අඩුම ළමයි grade 6 7 8 9 maths classes හරි කරන්න පුළුවන්. නේද? And once you apply jobs for the banks, the people they have 3 S passes, definitely they will be selected. 3 S passes, if you have, there are many avenues go through ahead. University entrances available, private university, right? And some courses, right? Many avenues you have, people. Therefore, finding a good job based on your AL result, once we have done science, maths, of course, very easy. So therefore, no people available in our day-to-day life, you can see, without having a job doing AL science. So therefore, the determination of doing the AL science is, people, a very important decision you have made in your life. Don't go to change it. Right. Now, really, I'll just explain regarding the syllabus in your combined maths we have to do during this future time. People, now I am first talking uh, before 2000, right? Just before introducing the combined maths. Before year 2000, in our days, I did my AL examination 1993. 1993, okay, right? So when we were doing this, we had two subjects called as pure maths and applied maths. Okay. In pure maths, of course, we had two papers this way. Paper number 1 and paper number 2. Applied maths also, we had people this way, two papers, 1 and 2. Right? So in pure maths paper 1, we had altogether 12 questions, and at the examination, we had to answer out of that 12, 6 questions. Here also the same. Right? And here also same. 12 questions were in the paper. Right. We had to answer 6. Now, as a whole, in these two papers only, how many questions available? 12, 12, 12, 12, 48 questions. 48 questions. To give 48 questions, how many minimum number of lessons should be there? From one lesson, one question, no? There should be 48 lessons, there should be. Minimum number of 48 lessons should be in the syllabus. But people, there were some lessons from them, no questions available usually. As a whole, in the two pure and applied syllabus, there were 60 lesson people. 60 lessons. 60. So therefore, before going to our AL examination, we learned 60 lessons. Okay. I'm talking about before 2000. Now, year 2000 introduced the combined maths. Right. Combined maths syllabus formed this way. From pure syllabus, removing some lessons, took only some lessons, right? And formed the combined maths paper 1, that is a pure maths paper, CM 1 paper, combined maths 1 paper. And from this one, removing some lessons, applied paper, combined maths 2 paper, CM 2 paper formed. Okay. Now, in this pure and this applied, in both, there are now available nearly 30 lessons. Nearly 30. Okay. Exactly half of the syllabus we learned. Okay. Now I'm going to explain the structure. PO paper, CM1. It contains part A. Part A contains 10 questions, structure questions. You have to answer the 10 questions, compulsory questions, in the paper itself. Right? For each question, you get 25 marks. Then compulsory 10, then 250 marks you get. Under part B, you have another 7 questions. Out of the 7 questions, you have to answer 5 questions. Okay. For each question, 150, 150 into 5, then 70, 750, and here 250,000. Then pure paper, the marks is calculated like that. Applied also the same. It has A and B. A part has 10, right, questions, compulsory questions. You have to answer the questions in the paper itself, structured. They are compulsory. Part B, there are 7 questions. Out of 7, 5 should be answered. Then you get totally 2,000 marks. And then by percentage in that, you get the marks out of 100. Now, See, compared to the earlier syllabus and now, you get a certain idea, no? Those days, of course, by doing this syllabus, we could get A pass. Getting A pass is really, those days, really, now you can see 60 lessons we have to keep in our mind. Now you have 30. Compared to earlier people, now getting A pass is real nothing. Real nothing. But still, our pass percentage, fail percentage is little bit higher. What is the reason behind this? The reason behind this is people, we don't have hard studies. We don't have hard studies. Okay. Who did in your oil maths paper the geometry question? How many? Yes, most of you have done geometry questions. Yes. The people, they are very interested in doing geometry means they are well genius. Right? They are genius. Really what? Huh? They are okay with thinking and, all right, and analyzing and getting an answer. They have in their mind the creativity. That nature people we must have to get what the good pass, A pass in AL maths. So once you by heart, remember by hearting, you can't go to good level in mathematics. So therefore, slowly learn, don't be hurry. Right? Always I guide you how. I explain all the theories. For every theory I do a question. And gradually I do from the simplest question to what the highest level examination style question. Then I stop the lesson. Once I stop the lesson, people, usually, so far in combined maths, there are how many papers? There are, including 24th paper, there are 25 papers. Out of that 25 papers, 65, 70% of the paper questions you can do alone yourself after finishing my lesson. Okay. Once I finish first lesson, suppose first lesson we are going to do the polynomial function lesson. I finished this polynomial function lesson within 3 days. After finishing this, people, you will be able to do out of these 25 papers, nearly 70% past paper questions you can do yourself. Then you might ask, why so the rest? Are 30 වලට මොකද සර් වෙන්නේ? අයියෝ අපිට බැරිද? නෑ පුළුවන්. ඒ questions ටික ළමයි කරන්න තව චූටි කාලයක් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට යනවා. ඒ questions ටික කරන්න ළමයි තව lessons කීපයක් ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒ knowledge එක තිබි නැත්නම් කරන්න බෑ. අන්න ඒ නිසා 30% කරගන්න බැරි වෙනවා දැනට. Then you must try to work out that 70%. People, if you can do those that way, the 70% past paper questions yourself soon after finishing the lesson here, remember people, that is how we identify the quality of the class. අපි ළමයි කවදාවත් දන්නේ නැහැ පන්තියේ හොඳද නැද්ද කියලා හොඳ තෝරගන්න ළමයි. දැන් මෙහෙම කරනවනේ. සමහර ළමයි කියනවා අම්මා සර් උගන්වනවා මරුවට තේරෙනවා. I think වැඩිත් එක්ක උගන්වනවා මරුවට තේරෙනවා. සර් දෙන ගණන් ඔක්කොම අපිට හදන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම ඔයගොල්ලෝ දැනලා නැද්ද? සමහර ළමයි කියලා අහලා නැද්ද? එහෙම තියෙනවනේ. නේ අපිට මරුවට තේරෙනවා කියනවා. හැබැයි ළමයි මරුවට තේරෙන්නේ මොකද්ද? චූටි ගානක් එයා දෙන්නේ. ඒක තේරෙන හොඳට ළමයි. හැබැයි ඒ වගේ ගණන් එන්නේ නැහැ ඒ වලට. ඒක බෑ. එහෙනම් ළමයි මරුවට තේරෙන පන්තිය මරු ඒ වෙලාවට. ඒ මරුවට තේරෙන පන්තියේ ළමයි ඒ තේරෙන ටික යූස් කරලා එක්සෑම් පේපර්ස් වල ක්වෙස්චන් කරන්න පුළුවන් ද කියලා බලන්න. අන්න මරුවට ඒකත් පුළුවන් නම් මරු ක්ලාස් එක. අන්න එහෙම ළමයි හොඳ ක්ලාස් එකක් ජජ් කරගන්න ඕගොල්ලෝ. මට ෂුවර් ඕගොල්ලෝ මාත් එක්ක ඕනම ලෙසන් එකක් කරොත් 70% of the past papers you can do yourself alone. Up to that level I guide you. Otherwise people no point of finishing what the lesson. ඇයි කියන්නේ? දැන් අපි අද ළමයි එක ලෙසන් එකක් කරනවා. එක ලෙසන් එකක් තව 2 weeks වලින් අපි ඉවර කරනවා. ආයෙ ළමයි ඕගොල්ලෝගේ A level එනකල් අපි ලෙසන් එක කරනවද? එහෙම කරන්නේ නැහැ. ආයෙ කරන්න ලැබන්නේ නැහැ. තව උන්තර ලෙසන් තියෙනවා කරන්න. නේද? එතකොට ළමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ ලෙසන් එක ඉවර කරනකොට ඔයගොල්ලෝ එක්සෑම් ලෙවල් එකේ හිටියේ නැත්නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ එක්සෑම් ලෙවල් එකට කවද්ද එන්නේ ආයේ? එහෙනම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ ලෙසන් එක ඉවර කරනකොට දැනගන්න ඕනේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ එක්සෑම් ලෙවල් එකේ questions ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් කියලා. That is why I told you you should be able to do at least 70%. The rest 30% will be okay with the time. එහෙම නෙමෙයිද? අපි සමහර ළමයි ඉන්න අපි එක්සෑම් එකට කලින් 2 months විතර කලින් ගෙදර නතර වෙලා ද පන්න එකක් කරන් ගෙදර නම් පාඩම් කරනවා කියලා. එහෙම පාඩම් කරන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ වුණට. ඇයි? දැන් බැරි නම් ළමයි හරිද? දැන් බැරි නම් ආයේ ඉස්සරහට ඔලුවට දාන්නෙත් නැත්නම් කවුරුවත් මොනවත් බෑම තමයි ආයේ. going to hell. දැන් බැරි නම් දැන් දාගත්තේ නැත්නම් ළමයි ඉස්සරහට ආයේ ඉගෙන ගන්නෙත් නැත්නම් මේ ලෙසන් එක ඉතින් ආයේ නිකන් ඉඳන් පුළුවන් වෙනවද? Somebody must pour something to your mind. I mean secretly to you. එහෙම දාන්නේ නැහැ නේ කවුරුත් නේ. එහෙනම් ළමයි present is the future. අද පුළුවන් නම් ළමයි future එකටත් පුළුවන්. අද බැරි නම් ළමයි doubt එකක් තියෙනවා. අද ඕකේ නම් ළමයි ආය future එක doubt එකක් නැහැ. එදාට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන්. ඒ නිසා presently do at your best something that solves the 90% of the issues in the future. තේරෙනවද? අද ළමයි හරියට වැඩේ කරන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ ඉස්සරහට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට එන්න තියෙන 90% issues අද ඔයගොල්ලෝ solve කරගෙන ඉවරයි. හරි ඒ නිසා ඔයගොල්ලෝ අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම හැම ලෙසන් එකකට පස්සේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ පාස් පේපර්ස් හදාන්න ළමයි. කරලා වෙනම ෆයිල් එක දාලා තියාගන්න. විසිකන්න එපා ඒවා. ඒවා තියාගන්න. මේව ඕගනයිස් කරන්න ගියොත් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් දේසි මේකට යන්න. සමහර කට්ටිය කියයි ඉත අපිට ඒකක් නම් ඕනේ අපිට එස් එකක් තිබුණොත් ඇති කියලා. ඇයි එහෙම හිතන්නේ? ඇයි එහෙම හිතන්නේ? එහෙම හිතන්න එපා කවදාවත් ළමයි. මේ ලයිෆ් එකේ ගන්න පුළුවන් ටික ඔක්කොම ගන්න. try කරන්න. try කරලා ලැබෙන්නේ එස් එකක් නම් ඒක සතුටින් බාර ගන්න. ළමයි try නොකර අඩුවෙන් ලැබෙනව නේද? try කරලා අඩුවෙන් ලැබුණාම ළමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉවස ගන්න පුළුවන්. try නොකර අඩුවෙන් ලැබුණාම හිතෙනවා අපරාධේ මම try කරා නම් මට යන්න තිබ්බනේ ඒකට කියලා කියනවා. අන්න ළමයි throughout the life you worry with the situation. What do you say? ඔයගොල්ලෝ just පාඩම් කරලා ගන්නවා 100 එකක්. ඒතකොට ඔයගොල්ලෝ හිතනවා අයියෝ මම ටිකක් මහන්සි කරලා මට ඒකක් ගන්න තිබ්බ අපරාධේ මම කරගත්තේ මේක. That worry people you suffer throughout the life. But you put more effort, put in your 100% effort, you could get this much. That occasion, you have a fair reason to bear the feelings. I tried at my best. This is what I could get. That's all. No worries. At your best, try for everything to achieve. So you get throughout life only one attempt to get what? This achievement. Okay? Right? Your effort will be giving you what? A nice gift in the life, in the future. So therefore, this is your time to learn, study, sacrifice the time totally for your studies. And you can really go ahead without any troubles if you have the paper qualification well. Okay, right. So here, if I come back to this syllabus again, in these 30 lessons nearly, again, 16 lessons nearly available in applied maths, the rest 14 for pure maths. These 30 lessons only we're supposed to do during this 2-year period. Okay, right. So here, first thing in my course, I am going to do, I do something called as basic maths, right? Basic maths, that tutorial available inside your file cover, basic maths. Under this basic maths, of course, I am very lazy to do this basic maths. But I do this one. Reason is, sometimes you are okay with the basic maths, but I noticed during my 28 years of AL teaching, even though most of the students, they come to AL classes, sometimes the basic simplifications, they can't manage well, right? So therefore, I'm not going to, of course, spend more time to discuss about basic maths. Just to refresh your OL knowledge, simplifications and all, we sacrifice time. But by doing so, the issues available you have in simplifying and thinking, we can't solve. Furthermore, when I do the lessons in the future, at the required places, I again remind and teach you how to do this. Okay. So therefore, this week, next week, and third week of this month, we will do the basic maths. Thereafter, we start the logarithm. Logarithm you have learned in your IELTS, but we are supposed to go more deeply in logarithms. Then the next month, beginning only, we're supposed to start what the polynomial function lesson, polynomial function lesson. From that lesson only, we get the question in pure maths paper. I told you under part B, there are 7 questions. Under part B, first question means 11th question in the overall paper. In the 11th question, there are 2 parts, A and B. The B part coming from this polynomial function question. Okay. So we start that one the coming month. Until then, of course, we're supposed to discuss the basic maths part and a logarithm part. Logarithm part, people, very important. So we go more deeply than you learned in your IELTS. Right? Okay, that is a summary. And the other thing, when we do the class, sometimes you might have most of the time people in doing mathematics, there can be some doubts. Especially, I know many doubts available. Because from the very beginning, mathematics, of course, doubtful what subject? Not learning like chemistry. Chemistry, we learn atomic structure, the scientist who found this, and so on. Some stories. In physics, also very interesting. Biology, more interesting. Right? But from the very first day onwards, mathematics was creating certain inconvenience to your mind. Why? How can this happen? How do you take the answer like this? Especially, how do we think like this? අපි කොහොමද මෙම හිතන්නේ කියලා හිතනවා ළමයි. කොහොමද මේ අපිට හිතෙන්නේ? ඇයි ඔයා ඔහම හිතුවේ? ඇයි වාට ඔහම හිතුනේ? ඒ හිතපු විදිහ මට කියන්නකෝ කියනවා සමහර අය. So දැන් ඔයා හදන ඔහම ඉතින් අපිට හිතෙන්නේ නෑනේ. ළමයි ඔක අහනවා හැම වෙලේම. අපිට හිතෙන්නේ නෑනේ සර් ඔයාට හිතුනට ඔක. කොහොමද ඔක හිතෙන්නේ? හිතන විදිහ කියන්නකෝ කියනවා. ඒක තමයි ළමයි ඉගෙන ගන්න. හිතන විදිහ කියන්න බෑ. හිතන විදිහ කියන්න බෑ ළමයි. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට හිතෙන්න ඇරලා එන්වයරන්මන්ට් එක දීලා හිතෙන්න ඇරලා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඒක ඉන්ඩියුස් කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒක තමයි මැත්ස් කියන්නේ. තේරුණාද? නැතුව අපිට මේක හිතන විදිහ කියලා දෙන්න බෑ. Understood? Right. So, when you have certain doubt, if you are not ready to ask that question in the class, after the question no, next day before the class, you can ask the question from me. And the other thing, when you need to question something in the class, if you feel that this is the time and this is good place, now okay to ask this question, you can use any language. English or Sinhala. Tamil, avalu enakku ela. Konjam konjam thaan theriyum, poruva paapum. Right? So, it's not a issue. Okay, you can ask that question in English or Sinhala, never mind. And the other thing is, in the question, in the tutorial, lots of questions are available. Some people asking, sir, do you have answers for this? Purposely, I not put that answers, people. Reason? Once you have the answer, when you work out the question, you work out the question having less responsibility. Why? Never mind if it goes wrong, because finally, if the answer available, if the answer is not coming, I'll retry. Then what happens there? Your responsibility or your confidence you lose. You should have a good confidence. According to the way I did, this answer must be true. Correct. That way you must have a good confidence. I can give the whole answers, but people don't depend on the answers. Once you depend on the answers, people, once you start the question and work out, you, of course, use your confidence regarding things. Okay, right. And the other thing, when you do AL, people don't get stressed, right? Don't get stressed. Do you, as usual, lifestyle, meantime, concentrate on working. Some people now, after starting ALs, right? Okay. Now, once I sketch the graph, hmm, their position is the y-axis. This is the time. Okay. Time starting from 0. This is the position of the student, mental position of the student. Hmm? Time 0 means what? At the very beginning of the A level. Some students, they are starting from the level of engineers. From here, at time t equals 0 means at the very beginning of the AL, now they think that we are future engineers. Okay. Then their graph is really, they keep this mentality this way. One occasion suddenly drop in this way. But some people are there. They are wait, patiently do, and gradually increase in like this and come to the level of engineers one day. Okay. Some people are going to zero and change the stream to what? Commerce. Commerce. Right? So that's the first category. Second category, people, the people, they start from 0. The people, they start 0. Very slow growth, like this. Slow growth. Slow growth, like this. But they have good brain power. They are very entertaining people. Concentrating less for the studies, but in their body, mind, they have the ambition that one day I go to this. Right? So now they have passed almost 1.5 years. Now the people, they have the property, they take huge jump like this. And then go to the level this way. Huge jump. Right? Second type of students. Some people, they have, from the very beginning, their graph is like this. Okay. So therefore, most safest way is people this. Right? So it doesn't give any headache to your life. Meantime, doing everything in your life, you can go to the level. Okay. So this is very dangerous. Very dangerous. Don't imagine that I am this level at the very beginning. Why? Then mentally you are so proud. So then sometimes there are people, there are some students, they even don't but listen to what teachers. අපි කියන්නේ සිංහලෙන් පඬිතුයෝ කියලා. તો ළමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ හිතා ඉන්නවා අපි ටැලන්ටඩ් අපිට පුළුවන්. ඔයාට වඩා අපි දන්නවා කියලා හිතනවා. එතකොට මේ ළමයින්ට ගුරුවරු කියන දෙයක් අහන්න හිතෙන්නෙත් නැහැ එක කාලයක් යනකොට. එහෙම වෙන්න හොඳ නැහැ ළමයි. එහෙම වුණාම ඉගෙන ගන්න බෑ. තේරෙනවද? එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ මෙන්ටැලිටි එක ළමයි තියාගන්න ඕනේ. අපි හිමින් ගමනක් කියා. අපි දන්නවනේ දැන් අපිට පුළුවන් කියලා දන්නවනේ. මගේ මේ අත් දෙකෙන් ඉන්ජිනියර්ස්ලා ඕන තරම් බිහි වෙලා ඇති ළමයි. හරි. ඕන තරම් ටීචර්ස්ලා ඇති. මේ වෙනකොට මම දන්න විදිහට ඉන්නවා ප්‍රොෆෙසර්ස්ලා 5 දෙනෙක්. ඉතින් අපි දන්නවා කොහොමද උගන්වන්න උගන්නන්න ඕනේ කියලා. ඒ නිසා ළමයි මේ බැච් එකනොත් මට ඕනේ ඒක ප්‍රොෆෙසර් කෙනෙක් හරි ඉන්ජිනියර්ස්ලා කීප දෙනෙක් හරි තව ගොඩක් කට්ටිය මේ බැච් එකනොත් මට ඕනේ. ඒ නිසා අපි වැඩි ඒ විදිහට කරමු. හරි. ඒ නිසා ළමයි පන්තිරේ හැමදාම එන්න කියලා කියන්නේ සමාදවසට එන්න බැරිනොත් ගෙදර ඉන්න. පුළුවන් තරමක් එන්න ළමයි. හරි. මොකද මගේ නෝට් එක කියවලා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ලෙසන් එක තේරුම් ගන්න බෑ. Once I do here something, everything I am not going to give you in the note. තේරුණාද? නෝට් එකට ඔක්කොම දෙන්න බෑ. මැත්ස් කියන්නේ ලෙසස් නෙවෙයි. right? ඒ නිසා ළමයි ක්ලාස් එකට හැමදාම එන්න බලන ක්ලාස් එක තියෙන දවස්වලට. next week ක්ලාස් එකට එන්න කලින් ළමයි අද කරපු වැඩ ටික කරගෙන ඉන්න අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම නැත්නම් next day තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ උන්ට. එතකොට තමයි ළමයි කියන්නේ සර් කියන එක තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. ළමයින්ට මම කියන එක තේරෙන්න ළමයි අද කරපු දේම අනිත් සතිය කරන්නත් ඕනේ. ඒක අපිට හැමදාම එකම දේ තමයි කර කර ඉන්න වෙන්නේ. So therefore when you join the class next day, definitely just before coming next day class, go through these notes, study them. If you have doubts, note down them, come to me and clear the doubts and go ahead. Otherwise, people, while you are doing this course, you will find inconvenience. I am sure that always you will be thinking negatively. How? I can't understand this class. Maths difficult and so on, you will think. No. If you arrange this way your works, I am sure that doing maths is very leisure game. නේද? හරි ලේසි ගේමක් තමයි මැත්ස් කරන එක. හරි ජොලිය කරන්න පුළුවන් සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක තමයි මැත්ස් කියන්නේ. ඕගොල්ලෝ විදිහට සෙට් උනේ. සෙට් උනේ නැත්තම් බෑ ළමයි. ඌ පොඩ්ඩක් අවුල් කරගත්තොත් වැඩේ අවුල්. Right? Okay. So then, people, today we're supposed to start the basic maths part. Basic maths part, really, in this basic maths, I put some questions only. Very simple sums are there. In order to refresh your knowledge, we do here. And especially now I must, another thing I must deliver to you. In the IMS Institute, really, all our lecturers in science and commerce, they are very talented, right? The very best panel of lecturers available, right? So our physics master one, Balsurisa, is a very talented one. He's a good teacher. So I recommend his class. Meantime, Dr. Vajira is the best master for chemistry, as you know already. And in the evening, Mr. Musain Mubarak for ISCT, another recommended teacher, right? I only brought this Mr. Musain Mubarak to the institute for the ICT vacancy. She's doing very well. So therefore, in the same place, you can get benefit for your all subjects in science stream, right? So with any teacher, you can speak your questions relating to what your subject. So no need to go here and there, right? Stay here itself and, right, make success your future here. No need to run here and there. Okay. So, I'll ask a small question. I'll ask a small question. See whether you can answer this. Very simple one, no? Right. People, I take this example. I take a simplification. See this. I take x squared minus x squared is equal to x squared minus x squared. I think everybody agree with me, no? Left hand side x squared minus x squared means 0. Right hand side 0. Yes. I can take from this left hand side. Here we have x squared. Here also we have x squared. I take simple x out from a bracket as common factor. Even though x squared is common, I take only x. Once I take x out from here and here, tell me what you get here from x squared. X squared means x into x, no? X once you take out, now the x will be inside the bracket. Am I correct? Yes. Minus here also x squared means x into x. One x I took here, now the x is inside the bracket like this. Now right hand side. X squared minus x squared. This is like a squared minus b squared. A squared minus B squared, you can factorize. Tell me, this is difference of two squares. Tell me the factors. First, ignore these powers. A minus B come in. No, that is the first factor. Change the sign to opposite. A plus B second factor. Okay, no? Thinking like that, you can factorize this. Tell me the factors. X minus X, X plus X. Up to here. Any error I made? Any error I made in SIPs? No, I took X out in left hand side, right hand side, I factorized. Now I can cancel down this and this. What do you see? X minus X, left and right, I cancel down. Now left hand side we have X. Right hand side we have X plus X. X plus X is 2X. X means 1X. Furthermore, cancel down this and this. We get 1 equals 2. 1 equals 2. Right. 1 equals 2. Using the axioms you learned in smaller grades, in left and right, I can add any value, no? I add to both sides 1. 1 plus 1, left hand side, 2 plus 1, right hand side, left hand side 2, right hand side 3. Now 2 equals 3. Earlier we proved 1 equals 2. Then I can put here 2 is equal to 1, no? Now what do we have? 1 equal, 2 equal 3. That means what? Wherever you have 3, since 3 and 1 equal, in place of 3, I can use 1. That says in the first row, there are 3 girls. But I can say now, no, there are no 3 girls, only 1 girl. Reason? 3 equals 1. So that error we had here, can somebody explain? 1 equals 2 is obviously wrong. 1 equals 2 is obviously wrong. Obviously wrong. People, what are the error they are to lead this 1 equals 2? Wrong statement. මොකද්ද මේ වැරදි කියන හේතුව ළමයි. දැන් වැරද්දක් වෙලා තියෙනවා තේරෙනවද? 1 is not equal to 2 නේ. ඒක දන්නවනේ. දැන් ඔය දෙන්න අතර එකට ඉන්නවා. නෑ උතන් දෙන්නේ ඉන්නේ එක්කෙනයි ඉන්නේ කියලා කියනවා. වෙන්න බෑනේ. මට ඉන්නේ එක බොයිෆ්‍රෙන්ඩ් කෙනයි. නෑ මට දෙන්නෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඇයි? 1 equals 2 නේ. මේක බොරුවක් නේ ළමයි. What is the error there? People, there are some definitions in mathematics. We must know them. This says we must have definitions. We have to follow the definitions. Really, x minus 6 this end, x minus 6 right hand side we cancelled. People, cancelling both sides by this x minus 6 means, really cancelling means what? Cancelling mean, you know, right? Really cancelling mean, people. Here, 2x equals 4. We cancel down this 2 with this 4. Cancelling mean, really, people, by that value we divide both sides. Cancelling both sides by 2 means we divide both sides by 2. So really, this cancellation we can explain this way. This and this we can cancel down, this and this we can cancel down. We get x equals 2. Here also, the cancellation, x minus x with this x minus x means really both sides we divide by what? X minus x, right? Both sides, right? If I write that without cancelling like this, right? You see here? Cancelling mean really we divide both sides by this x minus x factor. Understand? Really see what is the device? X minus x is what? 0. Right. This says whenever you divide something by 0, you divide something by 0, you get this way wrong answers. Understand? So therefore, people, in mathematics, we have something very important. Whenever you divide something by a divisor, you have to ensure that divisor is not equal to 0. If you divide something by a value which is equal to 0, you get what? This way, wrong answers. Understand? Right? Secondly, therefore, people, when you divide, can you remember in your oil quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, right? When you need to divide both sides by a, we wrote like this, and inside the bracket we wrote a not equal to 0. This is the very first place you found in your mathematics. We should not divide something by what? 0, right? Okay. Secondly, this, people, you know, when we divide 0 by 2, when you divide 0 by 2, what is the answer? බින්දුව දෙකෙන් බෙදෙනවා. බින්දු භාගයයි. එහෙමනේ. බනිස් ගෙඩිය ගේනවා දෙකට බෙදෙනවා. බනිස් භාගයයි. ඒ වගේම 0 ගෙනල්ලා ළමයි දෙකට බෙදෙනවා. 0 භාගයයි. 0 භාග නෑ ළමයි. 0 භාගය කියන්නේ 0ම තමයි. 0 divided by 2 is 0 really, huh? Now I am asking other way around. 2 goes numerator, 0 comes denominator. 2 divided by 0. Can lamai. 2 divided by 0 what? 2 divided by 0 what? 2 divided by 0. Zero divided by 2. හරිනේ නේද ළමයි 0 ගෙනලා දෙකෙන් බෙදපුවාම 0 භාගයක් නම් වෙන 0 භාගවල නෑ 0ම තමයි. 0 divided, if the numerator of fraction is 0, overall fraction is 0. I am asking other way around. But numerator has a certain value, denominator we have 0. 2 divided by 0. මොකක්ද? 0. 0. 2. හරි. answers තියෙන්න පුළුවන් ළමයි. දැන් මෙහෙමනේ. මේක දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ දෙන answer හිතා ගන්නකො. ඒ answer එක දෙනකොට මෙන්න මේවත් හිතාගෙන යන්න. 2 divided by 1 is 1. 2. එහෙනම් ළමයි මෙතන 1 තියෙනකොට answer එක 2 වෙනවා නම් මෙතන 0 තියෙනකොටත් 2 වෙන්න බෑ. එහෙම නේද? මේවා හිතෙන්නේ නැති දේවල් නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට. 2 divided by 0. What is the answer? Not 0. We get 0 of a fraction when numerator is 0. When numerator is 0, but denominator not 0. In a fraction, if the numerator is 0, denominator not 0, then that fraction is 0. People, 2 divided by 0 is undefined. 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 Nobody can give meaning for this. අර්ථයක් නැහැ. Undefined. No meaning. අහුණත් undefined. ඔයගොල්ලෝ අහලා තියෙන infinity කියලා. Have you ever heard called as infinity? What is infinity, people? What is infinity? What is infinity? මොකක්ද ළමයි infinity කියන්නේ? Infinity කියන්නේ ළමයි a big value. කොච්චර ලොකුද? කියා ගන්න බෑ. එච්චර ලොකුයි යා. දැන් කොහෙද ඉන්නේ ළමයි? අපේ ගෙවල් ගාව. People, infinity mean, you know, when we do the number line, you usually mark at the middle 0. Like this, you mark 1, 2, and so on. And finally, you put arrow here. Why? We can extend this line without an end. When this line ends somewhere, that place infinity available. and it is denoted by this way. Okay, when you write infinity, people, this backside you must close. So if it is open, this is a Greek letter called as alpha. This is how we write infinity. Infinity is, people, the biggest number you can ever find. It is line where? At the right end of this number line. මේ number line එකේ කොනේ තියෙන ළමයි. number line එක කොන කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ? end එක කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ? මෙහෙම අපි මේක produce කරන්න යනවා. කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ? Next to our house. Nobody can find what? The end of this line. If we find such a place and go to there, we feel furthermore we can extend this line. Having that in mind, when we go to that place, we feel furthermore we can extend this what line. So therefore, on the number line, there is no definite place for what? Infinity. But it is available where? At the end of the line. Infinity එකට ළමයි number line එකේ definite place එකක් නැහැ. හැබැයි ඌට තැනක් තියෙනවා. මොකද්ද තැන? number line එක ඉවර වෙන තැන. දැන් ඒ ඉවර වෙන තැන අපි හොයන්න යන්නේ. මොකද වෙන්නේ ළමයි? අපි එතෙන්ට ගිහපුවම තව ටිකක් එක දික් කරන්න පුළුවන් බව පේනවා. එහෙනම් එතන නෙවෙයි ඉන්ෆිනිටි තව ඉස්සරහා තියෙන්නේ. ඔහොම යනවා ළමයි හැමදාම හොයාගෙන යනවා. එයා මට හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මට පව්. මොකද කරන්නේ? Therefore, the number infinity, since it has no particular position on the number line, this number line is called as what? Real number line. The numbers available on that we call as what? Real numbers. But the infinity has no definite place on the number line. So therefore, this infinity is not what? Real number. But it is what? So big. So big. It is so big such that when we add infinity to infinity, what are the answers usually? To infinity. To infinity again we denote by what? Infinity. එයා එහෙම කෙනෙක්. එයාට එයා වගේම ලොකු කෙනෙක් ඇඩ් කරපුවාම එයාමයි එන්නේ ආය. ඒකනේ අපි කියන්නේ එයාගේ ලොකුකම අපට එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරන්න බෑ. Its size really we can't explain in our words. හරිනේ ළමයි නේ මේ බලන්නකො. මෙයාට ලොකුයි කියනවා. එයාට එයා වගේම ලොකු කෙනෙක් ඇඩ් කරනවා. ආන්සර් ගත්තාම එයාමයි ආය හම්බ වෙන්නේ. ඉතින් අපිට එයාගේ ලොකුකම කියා හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන්ද? So we can't really explain what its size. So therefore, we just think it like this. Infinity is what? The biggest number. Right? Its size we can't explain. And also, it has no definite point on the number line to mark the infinity. Now we come to left. Once you come to left, 1, 0. We have -1 here, -2 here, -3. You know, when you go this way, people, the numbers decreasing in sizes. නේද? එන ළමයි මේක දාන්නේ අයියේ. මේ arrow එක දාන්නේ අයි මේ. මේ arrow එක දාන ළමයි මේ පැත්තේ numbers decrease වෙලා යනවා. Right? So what is the minimum number we can then find? We say what? Minus infinity. It is the least number you can find ever. Understood? That also doesn't lie where? On the number line. Then අපි මු හොයාගෙන යනවා. මං එනවා ඔයා හොයාගෙන. කොහේ හිටියත් මං එනවා ඔයා හොයාගෙන කියන මේ number line එක කියනවා ළමයි. අපි යන්න ඔබ එන්න මම යනවා කික යත් යනවා. නේද? අපි ඉන්ෆිනිටි හොයන්න යනකොට ළමයි අපිට කෙලවරක් පේන වගේ දැනලා අපි එතෙන්ට යනවා. යනකොට කෙලවර ඉස්සරහට ගිහිල්ලා. ඔබත් එන්න මාත් යනවා. Right? Therefore, minus infinity also you can't find on the number line. So therefore, both minus infinity and plus infinity are what? Not real numbers. They are what? They are called as what? They are not real numbers. They are what? Undefined. ඔහොම කියනකොට ඉතින් අපිට හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන්ද? දැන් අපි හිතනවා මෙහෙම. අපි හිතනවා මෙහෙම කෙනෙක් ගැන. එයා හරි උසයි. සුදුම සුදුයි. ලස්සනයි කියනවා. පොඩි අයිඩියා එකක් කියනවනේ. right. අපි කියනවා ඉන්ෆිනිටි ලොකුම ලොකුයි. එයාගේ ලොකුකම කියන්න බෑ. එයාට එයා එකතු කරපුවාම ඇඩ් කරපුවාම ආයෙත් එයාමයි එන්නේ. Can we get an idea? Can we get an idea? Infinity is so large. Once we add another infinity to that, answer is the same infinity. So can we get real idea about infinity? No. So therefore we say it what? Meaningless or undefined. But we think such a number exists. What's that? Biggest number ever we can find. Plus infinity. Minus infinity is what? The least number ever we can find on the number line. Right. People therefore remember, when we divide 2 by 0, answer is undefined. Right. Now people think this situation. Now we take this way something. We say usually when a fraction has 0 denominator, like here, 0 denominator, numerator we have a certain value, denominator 0. This is undefined. But think like this. Now I do certain illustration here. Very carefully think and answer me. I take number line here. Here we have 0. Here we have people 1. Right. Once I come to this towards 0 on the number line, right? Right. Before going to that question, I ask another small question. Tell me between 0 and 1. Tell me between 0 and 1, how many real numbers available? How many real numbers available between 0 and 1? No? How many real numbers available? බින්දුවයි එකයි අතර real numbers කීයක් තියෙනවද ළමයි? How many? How many real numbers between 0 and 1? How many real numbers between 0 and 1 available? කීයක් තියෙනවද? How many real numbers available between 0 and 1? How many? Simple things, people. 9. Someone says 9. I'm asking the simple things, these things. So these are the fundamental concepts and fundamental important things to, right? Think something you need. Between 0 and 1, number of real numbers. Yeah, Lamai, uncountable number of real numbers available. Right? See here, people usually you mark point wise, no? 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Like this, no? Think here. 0.1, if it is here, where is 0.11? 0.1 here, 0.11 here, 0.10, 0.11. Out of these two, which one is bigger? First is point, I'll put 0 also before this. 0.1. Second decimal is 0. 0.11. Second decimal is 1. Out of these two, which one is bigger? 0.11. Then the 0.11 should be on the right of 0.1. So therefore, 0.11 should be here. Yes. I put 2 here. 0.112. Where is it? That should be on the right of this. Like that, of course, this if I put, this if I put, this if I put. Like that, how many real numbers we can find on the number line? Between 0 and 1. Infinity. ආය කියන්නේ නෑ 9ක් තියෙනවා කියලා. Don't say here in after 9. There are infinity. Understood? right? එකක් ළඟ දෙපැත්ත බලපුවාම real numbers දෙකක් තියෙනවා. People, there's a certain theorem in mathematics, right? Adjacent to every real number, there's a real number. Adjacent to every real number, there's a real number. මේ number line එක ඕගොල්ලෝ ළමයි ගිහින් හිට ගන්න බලන්න. Stand on the number line, see left and right. On your either sides, there are two real numbers. Understand? Okay, all right. Now, I'm going to do this experiment. I divide 1, right? First, I divide 1 by, suppose here we have 0.1, 0.1. Right, we take the answer. What's the answer? 10. I divide this 1 by 0.01. Compared to this 0.1, where is this 0.01? If 0.1 is here, 0.01 should be on the left of this. Yes, somewhere here. I mark like this for the convenience. Tell me the answer of this. 100. Okay. I divide this 1 by 0.001. Where is this 0.001? It should be, yeah, left of this. No? What is the answer of this? 1000. No? Yes. Now this divisor, first one 0.1 here, second 0.01 here, third 0.001 here. We are coming this way. Here. This divisor, this divisor, this divisor. When you compare 0.1 here, 0.01 here, 0.001 here, the device is coming towards 0. This divisor here, this. When you very carefully look in the number line, these devices are coming towards what? 0. Can you see about the answer here? 10, 100, 1000. So, once this divisor, little by little, going closer to what? 0, no? See here. 0.1, 0.01, 0.001. The device is coming closer toward this 0. What can you see here? This answer is what? Going to big values. Big values. Understand? Once I take something like this here, okay, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. What should be this answer? Going to very big number. Understand, people? Then we define something like this. Suppose this divisor I name in general by using a single letter X. Right. X. X going towards 0 as this 0.1, 0.01, 0.001 and so on. X going towards 0. Then what can you say 1 over X? This answer going to big values. Big values means what? Towards infinity. Understand? Understand? So therefore, people, hereinafter, don't say 1 over 0 is infinity. That is wrong. This is not infinity. This is not infinity. This is wrong. 1 over 0 is what? Undefined. Then at what occasions the fraction going to infinity? Yeah, we have a fixed value at the numerator. The denominator value going closer to 0. ළමයි 0 ට ලං වෙනවා. එන්න ලං වෙනවා. Gradually, the denominator going closer to 0. But this x never takes 0. If x takes 0, what happens? If x equals 0, what happens? This is 0. 1 over 0 means again what? This issue. Undefined. So therefore, in a fraction, having certain answer for the numerator, denominator is going closer to 0. Then overall fraction going where? Going to what? infinity. Understand? So that is how the fraction becomes infinity. So therefore, hereinafter, if we have a fraction with numerator certain value, denominator 0, what is this? This is undefined. Undefined. Really, people, 2 and here x, we say limit x going to 0. This way we have a certain lesson in pure maths differentiation. Limit going to 0 means what? That x value gradually coming closer to what? 0. Understand? That is how, this is how we write it. X going closer to 0. Limit x going to 0. We will learn this in details in the limit lesson. That occasion, 2 over x is what? Going to infinity. We don't say equal to infinity. තේරුණාද ළමයි? මෙයා යනවා infinity වලට. අපි infinity ගන්නවා කියලා කියන්නේ ළමයි මේ mean එක මට කියන්නකෝ. If I write something like this here, this is equal to infinity means if I write like this, as x going towards 0, 2 over x equal to infinity. ළමයි equal වෙනවා නම් infinity එකට number line එකේ අපිට infinity තියෙන තැන හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් නේද? We told what we can't find what the exact position of the infinity on number line. So therefore, we never write like this. We write how? This goes to where? Infinity. Yeah, infinity එක පැත්තට යනවා. එයාට කවදාවත් infinity අල්ලගන්න බෑ. Yeah, ඒ පැත්තට යනවා. He can't what? Catch what infinity, but it goes towards what? Infinity. So therefore, people, remember, when we divide something by 0, this is undefined. 0 divided by something is 0. Understand? And a certain value divided by x, limit x going to 0. This goes to where? Infinity. Understood? Right. Now another one question. I don't know whether they are interesting. You must know these people as math students. Otherwise, you will do this same issue again and again, same error again and again. දැන් ළමයි කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේකේ ආන්සර් එක මොකක්ද කියලා. 0 divided by 0. Huh? Undefined. 0 divided by 0, undefined. Any other answer? Right? I'll tell you the way you argue. ඔන්න ළමයි ඕගොල්ලෝ හිතන විදිය. ඔන්න ඕගොල්ලෝ මෙහෙම හිතනවා. First you think like this. Right. From our childhood we know if the numerator we have something, if the denominator have the same thing, by cancelling down we can write 1. Therefore, using that logic, this 0 and this 0 we can cancel down, the answer should be 1. One way you think. Okay? Secondly, you might think like this. Just now you only said if the numerator is 0, having denominator something, the fraction should be 0. Just now. මේ දැන් ඔයානේ කිව්වේ. එහෙනම් ඉතින් මේකේ උඩ තියෙනවා 0, මේක 0 වෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා. ඔන්න second argument එක ඔයගොල්ලෝ කියනවා 0 divided by 0 මේක 0 වෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා. Two answers already we have. Next one, people. Since the denominator 0, just now I told 2 divided by 0 is undefined. Like that, people. Here, 0 divided by 0 also what? Undefined. Undefined. Hereinafter, don't say 0 divided by 0 is 0 or 1. Undefined. That also undefined. Understood? Like that, people, in mathematics, there are basically 9 undefined forms. 9 undefined forms. Right? You will learn out of that 9, 4 types in ALs. I'll just explain them. First one is, people, 0 divided by 0 undefined. Okay. People tell me this one. 2 to the power 0. What's the answer? 1. 1 to the power 0 also? 1. What is this? 0 to the power 0. Is it 1? This is another undefined form. 0 to the power 0, undefined. No answers. ඒගොල්ලන්ට mean එකක් නැහැ ළමයි. Undefined. Huh? Second undefined form is this 0 to the power 0. We told people infinity. Right. Infinity divided by infinity, also undefined. Another one we have, right? 1 to the power infinity undefined. Infinity to the power infinity undefined, right? Soon there are 9 undefined forms, okay? Out of this 9, we will learn 4 types in differentiation lesson, right? So they are important things to your knowledge, right? Okay. Now, we can then, right, start very few questions today, right? Today really not just a lesson, just to share our feelings with you. What are the important things? Some more important things available people in mathematics, right? So at the moment, if I try to explain them, you won't be able to understand them because you have not a good mathematics environment in your mind, right? So we will learn them in the future, right? Right. So now we'll take the first tutorial on the basic maths. Very first question we'll start today, right? Simplify the following. Right. I think almost all sums in that you can do, but I do few of them, right? I'll take the very first one there, right? Simplify the following. X over 3 plus y over 4. Okay. You know, when we consider this is a fraction, it's also fraction. Okay. When you add two fractions, the two fractions must have what? Same denominator. If they are different, we have to bring them to what? Same denominator. That denominator is called as what? Common denominator. In this case, for this 3 and 4, what is the common denominator? 12, no? The least common, what? Multiple. No? 3 and 4, 12. Okay? Then you know this 12, right? People, this 12, you can see once you multiply this 3 and 4 directly here, we get 12. Remember, as the first thing, when you need to simplify this way two fractions, if you take your common denominator by the product of these present denominators, people, once you rearrange the numerators, this way you can multiply the available numerators. Understood? But the case, when you add these two fractions, definitely we must find common denominator. If your common denominator is the product of these two present denominators, you can multiply this and this here, this and this here, and just simplify. Okay, what do you get there? 4nx, 4x, plus 3ny, 3y. Understand? Okay, so what's the case? If this common denominator is the direct product of these two, understood? You can bring this 4 way here and this 3 way here and simplify. People, what is the answer of this 4x plus 3y? What is the answer of this 4x plus 3y? 7 xy. Then 4x plus 3y. 4 were the same. They are what? Unlike terms. Can simplify them furthermore? No, we can't. If so, think this 4 is like girls, 4 girls. Y as boys, 3 boys. 4 girls plus 3 boys. But 7? If you answer as 7, I am asking what? What? What 7? Still, you have to explain 4 girls and 3 boys, no? The 7. That means you haven't added them. So that means they are unlike terms, no longer we can simplify this. So therefore, by this example, you must understand when you add these two fractions, when you find the common denominator as the product of these two, this process way we can directly multiply and take the answer. Understand? Right. So I think you know these things, right? Okay, take the first one. Okay, right. Take number 2 in it. They are just to refresh your knowledge only, people. They are not really our main focus to do. Just to refresh your simplification skills, right? That's all, right? Now, people, here we have 2 algebraic fractions, right? 2 algebraic fractions. We'll directly take what 5 and 3 product as the common denominator. That occasion, you know how. This number you have to bring here. This number you have to bring here. Understood? Okay. Then we can write 15. Bring this 3 we are here. Put that inside the bracket like this. And here 5 2x plus 5. Put it inside the bracket like this. And now remove the bracket and simplify this. Here we get 3x and 3, no? Here plus, here plus, here plus. When you multiply same signs, the answer we get plus. 3x plus 3. Here what do we get? 10x plus 25 divided by 50. What do you get here? 13x plus 28 divided by 15. This way we can simplify it. Right. We will go to its part 6. The denominator has 3 over a plus 2, 2 over a plus 1. Right? Okay. The denominator is algebraic expression, right? And in this case, how to simplify these people? We have now find least common multiple of these 2 algebraic terms. Right? No? Right. What are the least common multiple here? The product of this and this. Understood? Okay. A plus 2 and a plus 1 product is the common denominator. Okay. Right. A plus 2 here, a plus 1 here. All right. You know, whenever the product of the present denominators, whenever the product of the present denominators we take as our common denominator, what's the method of simplifying? Bring this way here, bring this way here. All right. 3 times inside bracket a plus 1, 2 times inside bracket a plus 2. Now remove the brackets. Remove the brackets. And simplify this. Remove the brackets now. As a rule, remember, if the product of the present denominators, we take as our common denominator. This way we can bring the terms. Okay? Right. And remove brackets and simplify. What do you get there? Here 3a plus 3, 2a plus 4, no? Right. Denominator don't go to really remove the brackets. We keep it like this. Right. 3a plus 2a. What is that, people? 5a. 3 plus 4 plus 7. 5a plus 7, no? Right. Divided by a plus 2, a plus 1. Right. This way we can simplify. Right. Yes, I think in question number 1, this question do as homework. Very simple. Right. Okay. I'll come to this. Question number 2. Question number 2. Question number 2, I take first one given as 1 plus 1 over a plus 1 over a squared. Right. Now here in this case, this 1, okay? 1 has a denominator 1, no? Here we have 1, no? 1 means 1 divided by 1. This way also we can think, right? Here 1 over 1, 1 over a, 1 over a squared. Now here, how to determine the common denominator? Very simple. Look at these denominators. Identify different letters. A available. Its power here 1, its power here 2. Among the simple A letters, take the highest power. What is that? A squared. Here we don't have letter, we have a number. Right? Different letters, A only. Here power 1, here power 2. Take the highest power. That's all. That is the common denominator. Right. A squared. Now think like this. Here, this 1. This 1, if I write, really, if I erase that, still this is true, no? All right. Now this is how we think. Here is 1 has denominator 1. I erase that. That denominator 1, here also I can write, no? Here we have only a squared. That a squared I can write 1 into a squared, no? Still a squared we have. Now think like this. In addition to this 1, what is the extra term here we have in the common denominator? A squared, no? In addition to this denominator 1, what is the extra term here available? When we leave this 1, that 1 means this 1. What is the extra term? A squared. By that extra term, multiply this numerator. I repeat that again. Taking like this common denominator, here and here compare. In addition to this, what is the extra term available here? By that extra term, multiply this. That's all. Okay? Right. So then, I write it like this. Right. Here we have 1. Here we have 1 a squared. What extra term here we have? A squared. By a squared, multiply this 1. A squared into 1. You know, when you multiply something by 1, it won't change. Then a squared into 1 is a squared. Right. First one is, okay, plus sign. Come to here. This a squared you can think like this, no? A squared means a into a. Correct, no? Remember, people, in ALs, when we write, you know the multiplication we write like this, a into a. People, in AL, this multiplication we denote by dot like this. The multiplication we denote by the dot. Understand? So now think like this. Here, we need to multiply 2 and 3. Usually we write like this, no? The same thing we denote like this. 2 dot we write here. This dot implies what? This multiplication. It is different from 2.3. When you write decimal, people, this dot comes in the midway like this. Now what is this? This is 2.3. But once this dot comes to the foot level like this, it is what? 2 into 3. So therefore, remember, the multiplication sign we denote by what? Dot. Understand? Okay? Right. Now here also, what is a squared? A into a. Right. Compare this and this. In addition to this a, what is available? This a, if we think like this, another extra a here. By the extra term, multiply this. 1 into a, what's that? A. Plus. The same thing only here we have. Same thing only here we have. Therefore, this one change. Understand? Then we get 1. This is how we simplify that. Always take common denominator. Right? Now we have to check in the common denominator what is the extra term available. By that extra term only, corresponding numerator will be multiplied. Right. We count another one more. We'll take this one. Take question number 2, part 4. Question number 2, part 4. 1 plus 1 over b minus b divided by 1 minus b. All right. Here, tell me what should be taken as the common denominator. Decide different letters. We have b letter. Another term, 1 minus b. What are the different terms available now? B is 1. Other one is 1 minus b. Other one here, 1. We don't worry about this 1 here. Now what is the common denominator here? Multiply this term and this term. That's the common denominator. Right? That is the common denominator. B times 1 minus b. Okay. Now tell me this 1. By which value this 1 we should multiply? People, now I can put 1 here, no? Because this thing, when I multiply by 1, this 1 change. Now how to do? This 1 has 1, no, people. Then really, when this is 1, by the existing, this whole part is extra term. By that extra term, this 1 should be multiplied. This 1 should be multiplied by this. You know, when you multiply something by 1, it won't change. B times 1 minus b. Right. Plus. Now here we have b. In the common denominator, in addition to this b, we have another 1 minus b. By this 1 minus b, we have to multiply this 1. You know, when you multiply something by 1, it won't change. So therefore, this 1 minus b into this 1 means 1 minus b. Right. Okay. Now here come to this minus sign. Whenever you have minus sign, be careful, people, to put what? Bracket. Here we have 1 minus b only. In the common denominator, in addition to this 1 minus b, another b we have. This is extra term b. That b should be multiplied with this b, people. B and b, no? B and b, this way I write down. B and b, we can write b squared. Right. Now remove the bracket here. B into 1 is b. B and b, b squared. People, now this plus is sign is plus, here minus. plus and minus, we have to multiply, we get minus. Here, 1 minus b, b and b squared, before it we have minus sign this way. And b times 1 minus b. B and minus b you can cancel down. Right, here we have 1. People tell me, what is the answer of this? Minus b squared, and here minus b squared. Minus b squared, what? Minus 2b squared, minus 2b squared. Whole thing divided by what? B times 1 minus b. This way we can complete the addition. Okay. Right, now really the rest questions number 2, I think you can do. If somebody can do some questions in the tutorial from the very beginning, do the math homework. Next week we come to some simple mathematics, including the simultaneous equations of 2 unknowns and 3 unknowns, and some properties of proportions, right? And we hopefully to come to what? Indices and logarithm lesson by the end of the next day lesson. Right. So next day also we keep the class at the usual time, 10 o'clock, 10 up to 12:15. So your chemistry and ICT classes available in the evening. The classes will be starting at 1:45, right? Here, those who need to take the lunch, you can take lunch here. You know, washrooms and everything, you know. Here, washrooms available for girls. And the ground level, washrooms available for boys. That way you have to go, right? Okay. And the canteen available down. Okay. You can go to main road from this in and that in. If you have any issue, people, don't hesitate. Go to office and you can solve any issue, right? So next day also, we keep the class at the same room at the same time, right? So next day onwards, really, we discuss the questions and we come to the syllabus, as I told you, the 3rd week of this month, okay? Right, okay, so then we meet next day, right? So in the evening, you have the chemistry and ICT classes. Okay, then, next week we'll meet, right? Thank you.